Hi everybody, it's Janine from the Little Nun's Room. So, Tourist in My Town feature. Here I am again, walking around, really close to where I'm staying in the hotel. So behind me you can see the Shard. So what I've done is I've actually walked to London Bridge and then carried on walking the south side of the river as if I'm going out to sea. I haven't quite got as far as the sea, only got as far as Rotherhithe. I'm with a friend today, Yasmin, although she doesn't want to appear on camera. So this is an amazing part of the river. If you keep walking from London Bridge on the south side of the river towards the sea, past Tower Bridge, keep going, you come through all sorts of spaces and places. So this part of town, up until the 1980s, was actually warehouses. So this used to be, this part of the river, it was the port of London, so all the ships used to come in and delivering all their goods, and it's super famous and super duper historic. Like, I love it, and all of the buildings along the river where people live, well, not all of them, but there's a load of warehouses that have been converted. And me and my friend, we actually saw one of the original warehouse conversions, which is super close to where I'm standing right now. One of the original warehouse conversions in the 1980s. So like the yuppie time. It was like banded around at that time. That's what you did. You lived in a warehouse. So yeah, this direction is going back into central London, and then coming round, that is going out to the sea. I think the tide is actually going out right now because some people, you may or may not know, but the River Thames ebbs and flows with the tide. So at the moment it's actually low tide, so you can, I don't know whether I can show you probably, but there's a beach there, so the water, the Thames, is actually going out to sea. The other side of the river is an area called Wapping, and there's a few really famous pubs along there. One of them is called the Grapes. Really famous old salty sea dog pubs that you can go to. One of them is actually owned by Sir Ian McKellen. I'm going to have to find out which one that is, but he actually, the actor, famous actor, he lives there. He's got a place next door, Antigone statue in his garden, and owns one of the pubs. He's seen drinking in there occasionally. But the reason I've chosen this spot, well, there's oh my god, there's so many things I could tell you. Like, Charles Dickens based his Oliver Twist on this area that we're in right now, Bermondsey, and just like slightly on from London Bridge, the slums. If you watch the film Oliver Twist, one of the old films, who's the famous actor? Oh gosh, I can see him in my head. Amazing actor. Anyway, if you watch one of those films, you can see like that whole kind of slum area, like river kind of going along. It's just like, that's based on this part of town in Victorian times. So there's some gentlemen just stood there, as you can see, but there's a statue, and I said to Yasmin, what is this? And it turns out that this absolute place where I am right now, and I'm going to walk over because I want to make sure that you know where it is when you do want to, if you ever walk here at some point, and it's such a nice walk along the river or cycle. It's called Cumberland Wharf, as you can see here, Cumberland Wharf, and then you've got this amazing statue here. I was like, what is that? And to me it looked like Guy Fawkes. Apparently, I'm going to read this, I'm not going to rely on my memory right now, but this is where the Mayflower set sail. So this is where the Mayflower set sail for America. So for all of my American friends, and I do have a lot, I try and spend about a month a year in America. This is actually this area that I'm stood in right now, and this is a amazing statue that was put up to commemorate the Mayflower. This is supposedly where the Mayflower set sail, and isn't that amazing that they have that statue just to remind people? Because you wouldn't know, you just look at it and go, oh, you know, it's a river, there's some buildings and whatever. But to think of the history of this area, that's why I love it so much. So there's new, there's old. Over in Wapping they've got like 2 beautiful churches. Absolutely fantastic. So please, if you come to London, south side of the river, yeah, there's the Southbank, got the London Eye, got all the touristy attractions, got Westminster. But if you actually go in the opposite direction, you start to see the real kind of, you get to see and feel the real London. Look at all the signs on the walls. There's loads of them. There's blue plaques. You know, when they developed this, it said in the 1980s, I'm just looking on here. Yeah, in 1980s, Royal High's Victorian wharves were made redundant, so people were not working in the factories anymore, and the work went along the Thames further east. So it resulted in derelict buildings and displacement of local dock workers. So if you go along the east, in fact, near where I was the other day, City Island, that's where a lot of the factories, like Tate and Lyle Sugar Factory, is there. It's still working. So a lot of the that kind of industry is there. And then at the time, London Docklands Development Corporation was set up to redevelop the old landscape and create a new environment. And I have to say that they did an awesome, and still are doing an awesome job. There's all sorts of mix of council places here, but also, you know, the really high-end places too. So that's it from me. And the Pilgrim Fathers statue, and Yasmin, although I'm not allowed to talk about her. She's laughing at me now. But love you loads. Please like, subscribe, please follow. Tourist in my town. There might be a few other posts, and I will write the actor that the film of Oliver Twist that I'm referring to. The dog was called Bullseye. The dog was, some of you may know it, some of you may not, but I will put that in the comments so you can check that out. And that, when you move closer to London now, central, as we're going to do in the next like half an hour walk, that the area that Dickens wrote about, that's what it was like, and you can see it in that film. It's iconic. So send in loads of love, and speak soon. All right, bye.